and the Twitter. So make sure you follow it both. We are all over the place. I'm gonna make this very short because we have a lot to get to and we have guests. I got Jamaldo on camera tonight representing. We got Zach, of course. We got Joe, and we have special guests. Such a big show. We needed a few more folks on, man. We got our main man Trav representing Liverpool. We got Jerry dropping in for the first time, representing the the yellow and black with Borussia Dortmund, and hiding. I don't know if he's gonna make a grand entrance or what's going on. We got our man Category by Josh Storms. You all might know him from The Dish, but he's also a Manchester United fan. He's dropping in. And we're going to talk about the Champions League, fellas. So this is a great show. I'm going to just pitch this over to Zach and Joe to kind of get us started. We're going to talk the matchups and just kind of have some fun with this. This is just meant to be a lot of fun and just talk about it. We got some new folks to the game, some not so new. So Joe, Zach, whoever want to take it from here, man. Champions League quarterfinals. What's going on?
Zach, why don't you lead off because I know you're hyped right now, man.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I'm so excited for that international break to be over. I'm tired of it. I saw too many injuries all over the place. My team, other teams. No, I don't want it. I don't like it. So I'm excited to get some Champions League back. We got some great matchups. We got some fantastic guests tonight. I'm ready to go, man.
It's exciting stuff, man. Next Tuesday starts us off with the Champions League quarterfinals. And then Wednesday, right after that, with two matchups both days. Looking at all four of them, I think they're going to be fantastic games. I don't think there's any that we're looking at that are heavily one-sided one way or the other. So I think every matchup is going to be great. And looking forward to hearing what our newly initiated homies in here have to say about their squads. I'm excited to hear what we got tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to bring in, we have another guest, our main man, Jay Ham, newly inducted Manchester United fan. So Josh has some company on the show. Let's actually start there, Joe, because you and Jerry are actually paired up together in the Champions League quarterfinals. We have Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund matching up in one. So let's kind of just start right there. Jerry, we definitely gonna bring you in here in a moment, so get ready. But Joe, how you feeling about the matchup going into it? Obviously, Man City sort of breezing their way through the Premier League, but this is the trophy. This is the trophy that I know City fans looking to get their hands on. So talk to me, City versus Dortmund in the quarterfinals.
This is definitely the competition that they brought Pep Guardiola in to win, and so far it's not been the easiest road at his time in that city. They have not advanced past this stage yet with Pep as the manager. It's been 5 years since we've made it to the semis, and that's the farthest we've ever gone. They are in an amazing run of form still. They've only lost one game in the last 32 across all competitions. So looking good on paper, but I was talking to Mr. Jerry and Mr. Zach earlier today, and they were giving me a little grief because I think I was just putting on a front. But I do think that Dortmund have some guys that are going to give us some trouble. Dortmund also is in the kind of the same boat with the Champions League success. They haven't advanced past this stage in a while either. But when you have a guy like Erling Haaland, who's got that kind of size and that kind of pace, those kind of guys are rare when you have a guy that big that can run like he can. And traditionally, pacey frontmen have given us trouble, whether it's been Company in the back or Diaz, whoever. So when you got a guy like that, he's a game changer. So he definitely makes me nervous. And Jadon Sancho, also on the wing out there, is a former City Academy player and didn't get his shine in Manchester. So he will definitely have some motivation to perform well and try to stick it to his former club that he didn't feel like gave him a full chance to be a first team member. So I'm nervous just because of typical City. We've covered that before, where typically things go wrong in the biggest moments. So I'm feel good, but at the same time, there's definitely some hesitation since we've flamed out at this stage in the past. So that's where I'm at.
We're gonna bring Jerry in. So Jerry representing the yellow and black. So Jerry, first talk to us briefly, because you're Texas, right?
Yes.
So
Texas.
how does good old boy from Texas become a Borussia Dortmund fan? And tell me how you feeling about this matchup.
Man, what it was is I was talking to Zach and Joe one day, and I was just telling them about how I was really getting into soccer. And I was talking about how the European League and overseas, pretty much, the energy is unmatched. I mean, there's nothing like it around here. And I was like, man, I just kind of want to root for a team, instead of just watching a couple matches here and there. And they started talking to me about Dortmund and how they did their players and how they treated other clubs. And man, they've done good, dude. They're just something that you can root and be proud of, even if they lose. And their fans, dude, their fans are crazy.
Yeah.
That yellow wall. Yeah.
The yellow wall, yes, sir.
But no,
Yeah,
it's pretty neat, man. And like Joe said, Holland, who don't want to watch Holland? That dude is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Holland is definitely him and Mbappe. And shout out to MJ, our man Money MJ, representing Paris Saint-Germain, has just stepped in. But Jerry, to your point, Dortmund is a cool club to follow. They have like a really sort of a cool history, like the fan culture, as you talked about it. And then they got a guy that just is a scoring machine. Just
Man,
it's every week.
What's
So,
crazy? Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. No,
What's crazy is you're talking about scoring. I think he scored 6 goals already in 4 Champions League matches.
I think 10 and 6. 10 and 6.
I think they were saying
goals,
if he
6 games.
scores in the City match, he will actually break the record. He's tied right now, right? Break the record for the most goals in the first 5 games, first 5 matches.
He's got a couple records. I think the quickest to like 10,
20. He's the quickest. to 20.
Golly.
He's going to rewrite several records before this is all said and done.
20
I think a lot of
Champions
little
League
kids
goals.
will have his jersey.
20 Champions League goals in just 14 games.
Golly.
So that right there is what puts me a little anxious about this one. Typically what's gotten City in trouble in the past in these games is that Pep will either tinker with the lineup a little bit too much and roll out a different formation that they're not used to playing, or they will press so high up the pitch. And if they face a team that's able to beat that press with good quality passing and runs through the lines, then that has given us trouble. But this year, they haven't been pressing as high up. They've been waiting for teams to come closer to the midfield area and then trapping and putting presses on there. So tactically, Pep has adjusted a little bit. I just hope that he doesn't come up with some crazy formation and put guys in positions that he thinks in his mind is going to work out great, but don't end up.
Truthfully, though, you guys haven't faced anybody to require you to do anything of note other than play your normal game. Although, truthfully, I don't know if really you should deviate from anything other than playing your normal game, because that seems to be what works for you. And, when you try to get too cute and too fancy, bad shit happens.
That's been the MO in the Champions League with him, has been too much tinkering. And that's exactly the problem.
So my man Pep.
Yeah.
My man Pep, real quick, because I didn't even get introduced as a fan here today. I was just Jamaldo. So I'm just
you're right. I'm sorry.
As you see, it says Man City for life. We gonna go ahead. We gonna rock out. But what happens is Man City just needed a fan that was a closer in life. So they added me to the whole thing. Now Now, what we gonna do with this whole thing? Me and Pep had a talk the other day. Yeah, I talked to Pep, called him on one of the phones. I said, "Hey, yo, we gotta stop with all of this unnecessary pressing. We don't gotta do all that. No pressure. We got this. We in cruise control." Now, Joe, I know we worried about people scoring. I know, of course. I mean, that's the name of the game. But at the same time, my thing is this. I think from a pressure standpoint, I don't think that there is pressure needed for this team we're getting ready to face. I don't think we need it.
What?
I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it.
dis-
Well, hey, look, we gonna get a chance to see it. This is the beautiful thing about it. I'm newly initiated. Prove me wrong.
You can't give Dortmund time. You gotta put at least some pressure on them. It doesn't have to be a high line. They don't have to have a high line and press them super high, but you can't let them get comfortable and get into their rhythm. And they have too many playmaking midfielders and that are able to pass the ball up into Bellingham, Sancho, and
Bruce.
Holland. That's just not a good recipe.
Joe, let me ask you this. Do we trust our goalkeeper?
Absolutely.
Enough said.
I
Pass
don't
it
think your
Back to you, Big Shot.
goalkeeper has given up a single score in 10 matches.
He's got the most clean sheets in the Premier League and up there with all competitions amongst goalies. So it's him and the back line have been so solid that defensively I think we'll be okay. It's just we're prone to one mistake, and one mistake can cost you big time in these competitions.
I'm gonna trust it.
Come a long way.
I'm taking it from our football chant. I'm gonna put my right hand over my heart, and we're gonna say, "We, Man City." Let's go. Big Shot, back to you.
I love the energy, bro. I love it.
Now, on the same side of that bracket, since we are in the March Madness, we have brackets in Champions League. We have Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich, which brings us to MJ, who has put his faith, not his faith, he's just team Kylian Mbappe no matter what happens. So we got MJ representing Paris Saint-Germain. We got Jay Ham, who is rolling with Bayern Munich as his European teams. I'm gonna bring both of them two in. First of all, just to have a real quick conversation, Jay or MJ, or whoever's the start is. How did you all end up picking these two teams? I know because it definitely wasn't at random, for sure. So I guess either one of you are just kind of what made you pick these two teams. How do you all enjoy your first real foray into this football thing?
If MJ want to go first, he can go first.
I'll go first. Throw some other names at you. Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. I don't know what it was about those guys, but they just had the it factor. And prior to seeing those guys, I didn't really rock with the sport that they played. But when I saw them, it was just like I knew. Kylian Mbappe, I can put that in the category of guys that just made a sport that I wasn't interested in at first much more interesting for me, in which I became an instant fan of him. So the way this works, I don't know what team he's going to end up on. From what I'm hearing, a lot of money gets moved around in soccer. So I'm just going to say Team Kylian, because if I say Team PSG and somebody throw the bag at him and he goes, then what do I look like being stuck with a hurt Neymar? I don't want to be stuck with a hurt Neymar. So I'm just going to say Team Mbappe. And that's just kind of where I'm at in life.
You know what, MJ? The logic of that makes all the sense. So I'm really not even upset at it. Jay Ham, let me bring you in. Bayern Munich is your international team. I know we gave you a couple suggestions, but how did you end up coming to that as your choice?
I saw a lot of wins, but that was attached to them.
That's a good start.
That helps.
I'm not, right. It's like I'm not finna choose the sorry folks just for. Yeah, I mean, hey man. First of all, shout out to Jared. Jared, welcome to the Terror Dome.
What's up, man?
First time that we had Jared on to interact with us. That way I can just make things perfectly clear right here, right now, as I've already done so in the comments on the Facebook and the YouTube side. I just want to let y'all know that Zach, lovely jacket. I love it. Jeff McCauley mode of Fast Times at Ridgemont High during the dream sequence. Where'd you get that jacket? Must be said. All of y'all teams sorry as hell, man. I don't care
Oh,
what y'all
Here
got
we
to say
go.
about none of this. Bayern Munich, Manchester United. Shout out to my guys, Category 5, Josh Storms. That's how we rock. We just gonna let all y'all know y'all slaw. All right, we come like Booker T said on the Hulk Hogan interview when he said something he had no business saying. We want the goals, sucker. That's what we coming for. Right?
Hey man,
Yo,
y'all got a
but-
whole injury that y'all need to worry about before y'all come for
Yep.
anything. Y'all got a
Yeah,
bad
so
injury.
Hey
Talk
man,
about
I
it.
ain't checking no scouting reports. I don't know nobody
You
on
don't
my
care.
roster.
Okay.
Only thing I know is when I get the alerts on my phone, I'm seeing we up 1-0, 2-0. We beat y'all folks. We beat y'all team too. Yeah, I came on here tonight. I stayed up past my bedtime to cut a promo. That's why I ain't even ate dinner. Y'all
Hey,
get me on
listen.
while watching March Madness is live. Yo, I'm glad to be here though,
Yo.
man.
Who
But
who
no,
let
honestly though, real
who
though.
let Ric Flair in here?
Bayern, the Bayern Munich thing though was honestly more of the basketball connection. I'm a hoop guy, so I'm looking at these soccer teams, and of course, through the instruction and push from you fellas, y'all led me to lead, to the show where how these things are connected. The thing that's got me intrigued with soccer in terms of fandom, it's very rabid. It's like it's next level. It's like that punk ass American fandom ain't hitting off on shit.
No,
So
we just send tweets when we get mad. They burn up stadiums.
nah, that's what I'm
It's,
saying.
it's levels.
It's just like we say about the elite level athletes. They're different. Well, the fandom overseas, it's different, So that's what's got me intrigued with it, man. And I'm just learning really from you guys. I tune in every week. That's what I'm supposed to do anyway, because hey, I'm a senior representative.
Yeah, it's I think this is such a cool thing that you all have been open to. Firstly, like, hey, you know what? Let me get this. I'm gonna get it some run. So the fact that y'all so enthused about it, that matchup got really interesting with Lewandowski getting hurt. Lewandowski, if you want to put this in basketball terms for J Ham and MJ, Lewandowski is Kevin Durant. Just a score, just a pure out and out score. He is Kevin Durant of football. So him being out definitely hurts. But I think Bayern still wins that tie because I think Bayern is such a really well put together team. It's so organized and so disciplined. And I think, yes, you clearly would rather have him than not. I think they can do just enough, though, to win. The tie becomes closer over two legs without him, but I still like Bayern to win.
So
I do well in blind
gotta,
GM. I do well in blind GM. I do well in blind soccer teams.
blind soccer. I just got a hit in the chat saying Neymar is Harden. I think actually Neymar is D Rose.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
bad. I would
I
take
like that. I like that.
D Rose during his time was like the problem. You knew what he was, you knew who he was, but his body just couldn't hold up. Except for D Rose ain't flopping though, so that's the only problem. So he
There-
a mix of
Mix of LeBron and D Rose.
D Bron is what we're gonna call him.
Man.
Le Rose.
All right,
Now-
LaRose. LaRose
Let's-
is better for him. LaRose is better. I see the Kobe meme that Zach would have put up right now, just shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
Soft.
When Kobe
Soft.
shook his head, just said soft.
Soft. If we want to go back all the way to like Petty Sports Network when we were doing the World Cup, I posted that GIF about 37 times a day.
It always fit too.
Always.
Yeah, Neymar is he's he's so. But I think the thing
Good,
with Neymar
though.
he also to me reminds me a lot of someone like Kyrie.
Yeah.
Where where there's things about him that can kind of get on folks' nerves, but he's also so obscenely talented. And like I put a video in Stoppage Time, I'm gonna tag MJ on it
I
of him
posted
just purely
that
dribbling.
about
Oh, yeah.
37 times.
Also so obscene. He's probably he might be the greatest pure dribbler that the game has ever seen. Just purely as a dribbling, he's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of things
Somebody
about
playing in the
Neymar.
background. Could y'all mute that?
Yeah, I got it. But once again, that was me. My bad. I got
cool.
it all.
Man,
So
Byron Ewers got you fucking up, man.
Yep.
Hey,
Can't take you anywhere.
because even when you exit out, they put the little small box down at the bottom. Still talking, fool.
So let me bring in my man Trav, who Trav, give folks. We can do a quick fashion show.
Hey
Trav.
man,
Show folks
that man look like the
fresh
principal.
jersey. Show first the fresh jersey that you got, Trav. Trav,
Man, the
as you
principal.
can see, fully adorned in the John Barnes Liverpool legend shirt. Now, Trav, I will say this: since we kind of had the newly initiated folks, Trav has really gone all in on this. Not just for the jersey, but like the research. Trav has watched the videos. Hey, so Liverpool was had a rough season, Trav, going against Real Madrid, quarterfinals. So Trav, talk to us, man. How you feeling? What you know about this matchup, number one. And number two is how has this first excursion into football been for you?
I mean, as y'all know, like Big Shot said, I just looked at the history, the backstories of it, the whole theme song of what they got. You'll never walk alone. How that came about and everything. It's fascinating to me. And again, just with this Barnes jersey, I'm just looking it up and just seeing. Of course, if everybody know me, everybody know my number is 10. And with him being who he was and what he done for that team, it just put me on as such. As far as just looking at Liverpool and how they going, what's Real Madrid, correct?
Correct.
They limped in, but they limped in on a good note. Can we get that rally started? Can we find some way to advance? I think we can. Real Madrid is a good team. They're a strong team, but I just looking at this right now, I got faith in them. Hopefully we can get something pulled off, man. I mean, other people may think otherwise, but hey, it's just my first year. I'm living on learning. We'll get back at it again.
Hey, I'm glad that you invested in Liverpool, Real Madrid, and definitely want to bring Zach and Joe back into this. These are probably Liverpool is the Champions League is sort of their thing. Like they've been really, really good in this competition for a long time. And Real Madrid has a storied history in this tournament. And Zach and Joe can definitely talk to this. There's a revenge factor in this tie. 2018, Real Madrid beat Liverpool in the Champions League final. That was the infamous Sergio Ramos reverse armbar on Mo Salah that knocked him out of the game. You had the Gareth Bale wonder goal. You had the goalkeeping errors by Karius. So for Liverpool fans and Trav,
Hit him in the bad spot.
Yeah. So Trav, if you want to look this up, Real Madrid Liverpool 2018 final, give you some backstory. But
Sure will.
Zach,
Don't
Joe,
do it. Don't do it. It's gonna end in heartbreak for you, brother.
He gotta know what the history is. He gotta know what he's looking.
I'm gonna you know I'm gonna look it up. You know,
gotta look up the history of why
That shit's gonna hurt your heart. I promise you that.
it's gonna. I know for what I'm hearing, it's gonna hurt. But
Oh, it's gonna, yeah.
I
But you need
mean,
to
part
know
of
why
it.
this is- but
He
you
a
gotta know
Spurs
why this-
fan.
But he
They deal with
gotta
hurt
know why this is
often.
big. You gotta know
and
why.
and doing a little bit more research on it. I mean, hey, they do got King James invested money in this
Oh,
team
here
that
we
I was
go.
reporting too. So hopefully that'll give us a good luck also. So
This tie's got a combined 19 Champions League wins
Yeah.
combined. Like this
History.
is the matchup with history. If you're a history buff on the Champions League and you like that, this is your matchup. The thing that Trav's team's got going for him is that if Firmino, Salah, and Mane can get that high press going that has worked for them for so long, for 2 straight years where they won the Champions League once and the Premier League after that. City last year with a very similar Real team had success with a high press, and Real did not have the ability to counteract that. So if Mane and Salah and Firmino and the midfielders can really get that press working, then I think Trav's team is going to be in good shape. So
it's the bully gonna be my bully guy. What's his name? VVD or something. What I can't think of his name, but he's a bully. I seen a couple of highlights on him, and I just seen a couple of things, and dude is a bully. I know he was hurt. I was wondering if he's gonna be back and he's gonna be ready to go.
Nope. He ain't come back no time soon, brother.
Oh, he got one of them.
you'll see him next year.
Yep.
He got one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got it early, and he's done for the year. My thing with this matchup is, I think Madrid's defense matches up much better this year. You know, adding Mendy out on the outside allows the speed to match up with Mane and Salah. The X factor for me here is going to be Karim Benzema. He is, if you want to talk about a man that always finds the goal that's not Robert Lewandowski, it's probably Karim Benzema. You know, he doesn't get as much love, and he's probably the unsung hero of that Madrid squad, because if you don't have Karim Benzema, then Madrid is not in the Champions League, and they're not in the talks for La Liga right now. So that's my X factor for this matchup.
Zach, we're gonna stick right with you because Chelsea. I know he's been waiting on it. He's waiting on his turn. Chelsea versus Porto in the quarters. Quote unquote, the quote unquote easiest matchup, but we know when you get to the Champions League quarters, there are no walks in the park. Based on Zach, the coaching change, and how the season sort of progressed for Chelsea, you should feel pretty good. Talk to us about kind of how you feel going into this, based on how the season's kind of progressed.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the draw, and Tuchel had said this in his press conference, there aren't many teams that really want to play Chelsea right now, and it's not because they are the most talented in the world. They're just on probably the best form out of any team not named Manchester City. They are unbeaten in 14 matches under Thomas Tuchel, who he's played 14 and he has not lost one. They have not conceded a goal at home in over 11 hours. And Edouard Mendy is tied for the lead in Champions League clean sheets. 7 matches played, 6 clean sheets. He is tied with Ederson. So, you know, you have to like your chances there. They are a renewed team. They are playing at the highest level. And I'm, knock on wood here, extremely confident in the team that we are fielding, barring some sort of catastrophic injury coming out of nowhere, or barring some epic meltdown, you know, like a straight red that really hurts. Conte's injury worries me a little bit, but we get Silva back. I do believe he should be back and fully fit. He was back in training today, which is good. I don't know if he starts though. You know, you've had this back three that's been playing for pretty much all 14 matches, at least 10 of them. You know, and they haven't given up a goal at home in over 11 hours. So, you know, I don't know if Silva starts right away, and I'm I like the fact that, you know, Porto made the executive decision that they can't. Portugal, they said no, we're not allowing teams into the country, so they had to move the venue. So we're going to Sevilla, which is great for Olivier Giroud because he has 4 goals in Sevilla. So it'll be interesting to see. But I like our chances a lot.
Yeah, I don't think now is the time to be easing Silva back in. I think you definitely would want to stick with what has been working so well for you guys, because that defense has been on point since TT came in. So I would say run with what's working. And they seem to have found something a little bit with the counterattack with Timo and getting him going a little bit. Even if he's not the one scoring, he's creating havoc with his pace on the counter with what he's got. So if you can get those midfielders feeding him the ball a little bit and then making some runs off of that, I love your guys' matchup, and I have made no secret that I am not a Porto fan. So I hope you guys smash them and put them out real quick, because I'm over them. And I usually like the underdog guys, but not with that team.
Not that underdog.
So,
Not that one.
So for our newly initiated vote, we want to kind of review this when it talks about your matchup. So these are things that you want to kind of keep in mind. First of all, it's called legs, which is there's 2 matches. Each team gets to quote unquote gets to host a match, even though as Zach talked about, due to COVID, some of the matches are going to be on neutral. So things that you are looking for our newly initiated folks as you are watching these matches. The first one, and Joe and Zach, feel free to interject or jump in. Away goals. Now, for some reason, despite the fact that these are neutral site matches, away goal rule is still a thing. So that's the first thing you want to look for, away goals, because away goals count for more than scoring at home. So that's a big thing. Zach, Joe, anything else they want to look for, just as the newly inducted, other than something like away goal, just something that they could pay attention to, them to kind of for the newly inducted.
I think the interesting thing is we could possibly have another all English final. The way that the bracket, lined up, you have Liverpool and Madrid and Chelsea and Porto on one side and City by themselves on the other side. So, if hypothetically, if Chelsea and Liverpool both win their matchups, you're guaranteed to have one Premier League team in the final, and then if City takes care of business like they're expected to, then they, especially if Lewandowski's injury hinders him to the point to where Bayern Munich loses to PSG, well, then you have City versus PSG, and we all know Pep has Pochettino's number. So you could see another all English final, which would be interesting.
Yeah, the only matchup of the 4 that is on neutral soil from what I've seen as of today is the Porto Chelsea. Everybody else is playing in their home stadium. So home teams coming up in leg number 1 are Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern, and Porto. So if you're one of those other teams, you want to see your team get at least one. Whether you win or lose the first leg, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, as long as it's not a thrashing. Unless you lose 3-0 or something like that, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you can get one and it's a 2-1, and you're on the way side, or 3-1 even, you're still okay. So don't get too worried if your team doesn't win the first leg. It's not the end of the world. There's a whole second matchup, and a lot can happen in those next 90 minutes. So don't stress too much if the first leg doesn't go as you hope.
If you're the road team in the first leg, the whole object is to just not get smashed.
Yep. Get a goal and concede a few.
Right. You can lose and feel really good about yourself in the Champions League. Like you can lose 3-2 the first match, but you like, we scored twice away. We go home, all we gotta do is get one and we're through.
Yep.
So this is, and I know Germ is a big strategy guy. This is where strategy comes into play in these ties, when where you score matters. Because it's not as simple as I got the most goals. Something like away goals comes through. If y'all want some other storylines, this could be the auditions for Mbappe, Haaland, and I hate to be the one to tell you this, Trav. This is probably the audition for Mo Salah as well. These will probably be the three names you hear the most this summer as far as leaving. I think Mbappe and Haaland likely will go. And Liverpool, with their financial situation or owners who just don't want to pay up, Salah could be a name that you hear. And it's funny because Liverpool is facing Real Madrid, and that is where the rumor is that he could go.
Come through, LeBron. Come through, man. God.
Which it's really interesting, given Liverpool's owners are the same owners that own the Red Sox, who are they're not afraid to throw money around. So I don't get this financial kind of predicament that they find themselves in, because Liverpool, I mean, they bring in the money. That's not an issue. I know that Manchester City made an unofficial announcement that they're bringing Erling Haaland in on trial for these two legs. So that's probably going to happen. And I don't want to be the one to pay that money, but then again, I'm not paying that money.
It's going to cost so much.
It's gonna
And
cost a
LeBron,
lot.
and do LeBron got shares in the Boston Red Sox also?
He does.
Yes, he does.
God, dog.
Yeah,
He's part of that ownership group.
He's part of that. And I was just skimming through your little story, Big Shot. All I seen was Ronaldo and Ramos crying. So that's what I seen on 2018. I click on these little stuff later, but right now it's not looking too good.
And that goal, that Bale goal in that game was unreal.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely unreal. And that was cold off the bench too. He was a sub. What were you gonna say?
Go ahead, Joe.
If I was going to transition to something different, so if you want
Go
to
ahead.
finish what you were going to say, that's
Go
fine
ahead.
too.
Nope.
got it.
I was going to say we talked about a lot of the big name free transfers that were going to be coming out, and another one has been added to the list. I'd be remiss if we did a show and not mention the guy in the back of my jersey currently that is going to be up and available for a free transfer as well. Sergio Aguero is not going to be back at Manchester City. It is official. He and the club have both made announcements that he is going to be moving on to a different club, be it back home in Argentina. It's said that he is very interested in joining Barcelona, but they're not offering a wage that he feels he deserves, and which is part of the reason why he is not going to be back with City, I think. But he will also be available depending on where he decides he would like to go. So that's another very large name on the free transfer market this year, which is a very unusual situation. And that also means that City is 100% in on one of the big name strikers. And I'm very hopeful that it is Jerry's guy.
It
And
will
Jerry,
be.
and Jerry, the thing is, like, your team is so good at developing players and bringing in young talent that the amount of money that y'all are going to make off of him is going to set you guys up for a long time with your ability to scout players and bring in talent. So you have nothing to worry about. It sucks losing a guy like that, but the fee that is going to come your way and your scouting department and everything, you guys will be still in business for sure.
I was going to ask you about that actually, because like Sancho, when he came over, I was, obviously I'm new to this, but looking back at things, and I was wondering if more or less like the veteran leadership of Ruiz helped a lot.
One more time.
You think that helped a lot
What-
with the development of Mo Marco?
I don't think Royce really has is your key here. I think it's your actual coaching staff and your on your training grounds. They for whatever reason your youth coaching staff is probably one of the best I've ever seen. Period. They have an uncanny ability to find young players, buy them on the cheap, and then turn around and flip them for an obscene amount of money. I mean, look, they brought in Christian Pulisic for like $2 million and sold him for 70. They just bought Jude Bellingham for 22 million. And his actually I have it up. Hold on. I can tell you exactly what his value is. It is. Oh, now you're gonna act slow. His value is already at 40 million. So they've already almost doubled his value in one season. They bought Jadon Sancho for dirt cheap, and his value's over 100 million. So, you know, if they don't make the Champions League for whatever reason, it's not the end of the world if they sell Haaland. The rumblings I'm hearing though are that they would much rather keep him an additional season and then lose him on a buyout clause than let him go this year. And I just, for the life of me, I can't wrap my brain around that. Why would you walk away from 200 million to take 70 million the next year? It's just, it's mind boggling.
Is that what it was? 70 million? I remember
His
seeing
buyout
something
clause
about it.
is like 74 million, I think.
Dortmund, Jerry, they're just really, it's like to Zach's point. Like, it may not equal league titles or Champions League, but I would say it's a good club because they unlike some of the other major teams, Dortmund is gonna do things the right way. Like, Dortmund is not gonna do, there's not gonna be any scandal around Borussia Dortmund. Like,
No.
so it's a well-run club. Now, they may not have all the success, but it's really well-run. So them losing Haaland, I think, is inevitable. But I think if that's your club, you would definitely, to Zach's point, if you can get him 200 million now, absolutely. There's no reason to lose out on $130 million to prove a point. And
It's crazy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say what's crazy is you're talking about that money. I was reading somewhere that they had a chance to grab Mbappe for super cheap back in, I think, 2017.
There was actually an article that I just read recently there was 3 teams that all had Mbappe in on trial and could have had him before PSG snagged him up. Chelsea was one of them, and it pains me to say that their front office were the ones that screwed the pooch on that, because Mbappe wanted to sign, but one of the coaches or one of the staff pissed off Mama Mbappe, and she blocked that. So that hurts. That really hurts to know that we could have at one point had Kylian Mbappe and Eden Hazard, on the wings. But I know Dortmund was in a similar situation where they had him in on trial and for whatever reason couldn't sign him.
So Germ, Trav, J-Ham, any of the newly inducted folks, I know y'all are obviously very new in this thing. Are there some questions or just some things about the game that you all want to ask or just kind of curious about? I know we hit y'all with a lot of stuff in this group and on this show, and I know it's like, it can be kind of we try to keep it organized, but it can be somewhat all over the place. Anything that y'all want to ask us or just
I got a question
about your clubs? Go ahead.
Well, it probably ain't about my club, but it's just in FC in general, as what we going into this Premier's Champion League with this tournament going on. who are considered as your big markets and who is considered like your small markets? And do small markets prevail in tournaments like this?
Are you talking like the Champions League?
Yes.
So your big market teams are Real Madrid, Manchester City, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, PSG. Everybody not named Porto and not named Borussia Dortmund. And that's not the fault of those two teams. That's just, the realization of it. Dortmund is considered a smaller team. They are a small market team. And that's what makes them so impressive and so successful, is that they continually will bring in young players and fight for Champions League spots and fight for the title while churning out a profit. And it's kind of like a rinse, cycle, repeat kind of situation for them. The problem is they can't seem to translate it into anything substantial and win the Champions League. But truth be told, that's a lot of teams' faults. City.
Watch it, buddy.
So yeah.
And
3 days, we're gonna have words, my friend.
and has it been one of those so-called small market teams made a run and won the championship? If so, who?
I think in this competition, it really, because of the nature of it, number one, you can get some weird results. Like this is, it's not like here, best of 7. Like
Right.
Major League, like here, best of 7, the best team wins. Or even in the NFL playoffs, which is, one and go home. Generally, though, the best team generally wins, even in the one-off situation.
Mm-hmm.
It really comes down to just in football. It really is a money play is a huge factor. Like if you're willing to spend on it, unless you are like a Bayern Munich, which has an incredible organization like Bayern Munich. I'm surprised, Trav, when you were picking teams that you actually didn't pick Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich is a very Spurs-like situation. It's really super organized. It's a super structure. They don't really tend to go crazy on spending on players, but they're just very smart about what they do. But as Zach has pointed out, Real Madrid spends a bunch of money, has won it
13 times.
They had
13.
They had a 3-peat recently, but they won the Champions League 3 years in a row.
And you said between Liverpool and Real Madrid,
19 total.
19. So that's 13. God, Lord, how much?
Trav, I got the list of Champions League winners here, and the last non-big name club to win is actually Porto in 2003, 2004, 2004. And then before that would be Dortmund actually in 97. So the rest of them are all major market teams. But that Porto team is legit. That was the Jose team.
Yeah, I'm looking at that team right now. That had Deco on that team, and Ricardo Costa, Carvajal.
That team was stacked. It's just not a big market club. Like that's all.
So they had some monsters on that small market team.
Yeah. Exactly.
They had a lot of players that became more famous later on, where they won the Champions League and then they sold like the entire team for big money.
I can see that. I can see that.
Honestly, most of the runners up, the teams that played against the eventual winner, are all pretty big name teams too recently. So in this competition, it's definitely the cream usually rises to the top.
Ajax is a small market club. Monaco. That 2003-2004 final is a battle of small market clubs. It was Porto versus Monaco, which is.
I will always have nightmares about that Champions League.
05-06?
No, 05, 06, Bar, that's, you don't want to go too off topic. 04 hurts worse than 06.
Yeah.
Because 04, Arsenal was the invincible Premier League champions, the team that won 38 games in the Prem and never lost. And that was, to me, was the Arsenal team that was supposed to win the champion. Like, if there was ever a team that we had that was supposed to win it, it was that one. And we are in dark, dark days now. So that's why y'all haven't heard me talk much about my team, because there ain't a whole lot to discuss.
And Trev, these teams that we're talking about are globally might be small markets, but they are like the club in their particular country. So they're in the global soccer world, they might be a small market team, but in their home country, they are usually the
1A or 1B.
Yeah, exactly. So
you ain't got to tell me nothing about that, boy. I understand.
So here's a question. For great scoring teams that score the ball very, very well. I know we were talking earlier about presses and things of that nature. So for people out there who are learning the game, what do you say to them when their particular club goes up against great scoring clubs? Like, what are some of the strategies that teams will deploy for that?
Well, are you Jose Mourinho? Then you put 9 in the box and you dare them to score. But for teams like Chelsea and Man City, who are both on really great runs of form, who aren't conceding goals, the key is just to play smart. You have to play smart in order to prevent good teams from scoring. And although Porto is not Dortmund in the fact that they don't have Erling Haaland, you still can't. You still have to play smart. You're in the quarterfinals, so none of these teams are bad, and you have to stick to what you're good at. If it's a high press, then continue to play that high press. Don't and Joe was talking about this earlier. You don't want to get too cute and change things up for the sake of changing things up. You need to stay true to what your team is good at. And I think that's where Man City in the past has struggled. Is Pep has kind of, he really wants to win this title with City, and it shows. And so he almost overthinks it. From watching what I know about Pep as a Chelsea fan, the man is seen improved because the man is in the lab all the time, watching film, studying his opponents. And I think that sometimes you can almost overcomplicate things and get too in the lab, and it may hurt you because you try to be too cute with it.
That's exactly right, Zachary. Everything you just said was spot on. So that's absolutely been his problem and our problem.
I think it is also, to your point, Jeremy, but it also depends on, like, for instance, like Bayern Munich, like PSG Bayern Munich will be a really open match because Bayern Munich is going to give you room and space to work with. So sometimes against a great scoring team like a Bayern Munich, even without Lewandowski, is a team that scores 3-4 goals. Sometimes you're going to get chances. When you get chances, you got to finish them. Like, so, and that will be the case for Borussia Dortmund against Man City. And this is where I can get why Joe is a little bit afraid, because Dortmund has a guy who can finish anything. So Dortmund might play Manchester City, and City might dominate the ball. Like, City had a ball most of the match. Dortmund might get 3 chances all game. But they got a guy who, if he gets on the end of those 3, is going to finish 2 of them. So against a great scoring team, they're going to be on top of us. They're going to pressure us, but they're going to give us 3. They're going to give us 2 chances a game. You got to finish both. I think that's the case. Dortmund City. And for PSG, you're going to get room to play with. You're going to have open spaces. There will be places that you can get. So use your speed. So it really depends, man. I mean, that's the beauty of the game itself, is that, to your point, is that teams score, so that the strategy is so different that you really have to adjust from team to team. But it just really depends on how a team is set up.
Durham, for us, our tactic is we keep the ball, and you can't score if you don't have it. And City's whole tactic is when they come against teams that are going to be scoring a lot or typically score a lot, is to just keep the ball and keep possession and have it at all times. So that is also a strategy, is just to keep possession, dominate the ball, and limit the number of chances that the other team is able to come up with. And then to Zach's point, they call it parking the bus. And that's when you pretty much take all 10 of your outfield players and put 6 of them along the top of the goal
18.
box. Yeah, 18. And then put another bank of 4 guys right there, and then just try to create as little space as possible in front of goal and hope, and just try to hang on and try to counterattack.
I think you're going to see two sets of score lines for these 4 matchups. I think Porto and Chelsea will have a combined 4 or 5 goals over both matches, and Real Madrid and Liverpool will have a combined 4 or 5 goals over 2 matches. Bayern and Paris are going to have 11 or 12 goals over 2 matches. That's just the way they play.
That'll be up and down.
Yep. It's they both score freely, and they don't care. You can score 3 in a row and the other team is not out of it. So the only thing that's going to factor in is the away goals. And I really think, so the City and Dortmund game can go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be a snooze fest and there's not going to be really any goals, or it could get very Bayern and PSG-esque, and you could see a lot of goals, freely, especially in that second leg. If goals are at a premium and then they start flying, it's going to be, those are always my favorite matches to watch. When a team is down 2 goals or 2 away goals and they need it, you just see all sorts of beautiful open football. And it's good. I'd like to, before we hop off, because I know we're getting short on time, I'd like to hear everyone's predictions on what they how they see the matches unfolding.
Oh man.
Yeah, you knew I was coming with it.
Real quick, one thing I want to ask: how many? So for every 1 away goal, is it 2 home goals, or is it just like 1 ends up change?
Kind of. I mean, you could kind of see it as 2 goals. You either have to outscore their away goals, or you have to equal their away goals. So if let's say Dortmund scores 2 away goals on City, they either have to score 3 goals, period, or they have to, in the return leg, have to score 2 away goals of their own.
Yeah, so stop using City, because we're not giving up no goals.
Okay.
Gang.
Okay.
I love the backup I got now. Hell yeah.
I mean, Dortmund is 3-1 against City.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Nice. Hi, Jerry. My guy.
Talk
But anyway,
to him,
but check this
Jerry.
out. But let me just say this. I don't care about 3-1. You got the Germ Mamba now on the team. We don't care about that. That's in the past. That's before I got here.
All smack talk aside, Manchester City, the depth is unreal, dude. You're gonna need guys like Julian Brandt and freaking Abernethy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but
Don't worry, I don't know neither. I just be trying to say their names.
Up. You need some real big plays from some small players. I just don't see it happening. I see Manchester City winning first leg 3-1, and second leg I'm gonna say 2-3 City.
What you'll generally see, and then we're gonna get to the predictions, is in the first leg, if it's tied, like if it gets tied later in the second leg, you'll see the home team really start to press, because the home team knows we're gonna go away. We can't go. We gotta score, or we have to really sort of shut down shop because we can't afford to give up a goal. So, really, if you want to look at what your score is with about 30 minutes to play, and generally that will determine how teams finish matches because they're already thinking about, okay, we can't give up another goal because we got to go to leg 2, or hey, we're up 2 goals, we got to shut it down because we can't afford to give up. So the time and score in soccer in that first leg is really important. It becomes really important because you have to think about the manager's already thinking about leg 2.
And that's two 90-minute games, well, 2 90-minute legs in this situation.
Plus
So-
stoppage time.
So, man, come on, man. That's just a long time just in itself.
Yeah.
That's a long time, and a lot can happen in that time frame. So the people
Not-
thinking
not to
that it's
mention-
easy, it's
Not to mention if they're tied on both away goals and goals themselves, you go to extra time in leg 2.
An extra
And
30
then if you're
minutes.
still
And that's-
tied,
And that's 2 15-minute halves. So that's another half hour on tired legs.
And then you go to penalties.
Mm.
And penalties for Trav, Germ, Ham. Think about this. Think about if we decide the NBA championship at the free throw.
oh well. Hey, check this out. Check this out.
Okay, Rico Hines.
We all think about this. We done played 2 overtimes. We gonna decide game 7 in a free throw shooting contest.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
by the way, someone can stand in front of you and block your shit.
Yeah, but we gonna shoot.
Mm-mm.
and you get
So-
Shaquille O'Neal at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can happen where you get. We can get into that another day, but you can get guys who like aren't used to shooting at the goal. Now you got to score to advance. So it can get crazy. So, but as y'all get more and more into this, you'll pick this up. It's gonna be a great next 2 weeks. Let me give my official prediction. I'm gonna have to pick against one of y'all, so I'm sad about that. So I'm gonna just go purely scene bias on these picks. Give me Liverpool. Give me Chelsea. Man City, Dortmund. That's not cool. I gotta pick against. I gotta pick against one of y'all in that second half.
You know, City's gonna take it. It's okay.
I will go
You
with
see
the
that reverse
safer
psychology.
bet. I will go with the safer bet of City. And I also gonna go with City only because Joe said if they win the Champions League, he gonna sing on it. I still need that.
Oh, you need
Give
do
me
you need a backup
Liverpool.
singer too?
Absolutely. You can join
Oh,
me for
absolutely.
sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, if Man City wins the Champions League, you gotta sing too.
Join
So
the
Liverpool-
embarrassment.
Liverpool. So Liverpool, Chelsea, City. Man, Ham or MJ? Who do I love more? You know what? I'm gonna go with because I like to I'm kind of a softie. I like to see new folks win. Give me PSG.
Mm.
Give me PSG. If that's but so yeah, that's mine. Pool,
All right.
Liverpool, Chelsea, City, PSG.
All right, Jerry.
I'm gonna go Bayern, Man City, Chelsea. Who am I missing?
Real Madrid or Liverpool?
Oh, well, Liverpool. As much crap as I was giving Trav. I'll take Liverpool.
That's a good segue, Trav. You're next.
I'm not gonna pick our teams. I just want my team to win.
Oh no, you gotta pick them
Attaboy.
all. You gotta ride the
Okay.
wave, man. Ride the wave.
Okay. So I'm picking myself over Real Madrid. Give me the next matchup. Man City and who?
Dortmund.
Dortmund.
Joe versus Jerry.
Let me be a crook and go Dortmund.
Woo!
Okay.
Hey, baby, baby.
because I want to say during the embarrassment of singing songs in English and all that other stuff.
Oh.
You got
man.
Bayern and PSG.
I'm gonna go PSG on that because I want to see this dude, man. I want to see Mbappe. I really do want to see this cat and see how amazing he is. So, and Chelsea and who else?
Porto.
Chelsea.
Joe?
I'll go in reverse order. I'm going Chelsea and PSG. I think the Lewandowski injury is going to be a major factor. And but I'm going City and a nail biter. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a goal difference,
Stop
I
it.
think.
Stop it. You've been doing this all day.
The reverse
And-
psychology pick.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a blowout. I'm telling you. And then I am going Real Madrid. I am going against the grain with the rest of the crew so far.
Jerem, you want to get in?
Yeah, let me get. I'm not like Trav. I'm not like him. I'm tired of seeing Real Madrid. I don't even want to hear the name no more. So Liverpool going to take care of that business for me right quick. Chelsea. I feel like Man City and Chelsea are kind of the cream of the crop. So that's what I hope we get at the end of the year. It's this year just feels like that type of year where we're gonna get the cream of the creme de la creme, homie. Top shelf. So give me
imagine
Chelsea.
That blue versus blue episode will be lit.
I'm there.
Zach, right now, if that is the final, I will drive to Ohio and we will do that together and we will
You know
watch
what?
that game.
I think that should happen.
100%. If 100%, if we play each other in the Champions League final, I will drive to Ohio and we will watch that together and have a live show in the same room.
I
For
will
sure.
pitch in gas money for y'all.
I
Good
just
luck.
want y'all to know I live in Ohio too, so this actually works.
Say
I'll
less.
come
Yep.
scoop you
Take
up.
Jerem
on my
up on
way.
the way. Let's go.
Let's go. Might as well. Of course, I'm going with for life. Man
That's it right
City,
there.
baby.
And that
For
is
life.
100% guaranteed. If that happens, I'm doing that. So
Yes.
we'll get.
What the little kid say on the gift? For life. Now let me get Man City. I actually want to pick a score for these two for both games.
Yeah, do it.
I want to do 2-1 for both games. I think 2-1 Man City both games. I never want to take away if a team is good on offense, they just good on offense. They're gonna score. It's just I think we can limit and minimize some of the scoring, wear them down with some of the depth that we have and those type of things. I want to see a quality matchup because this is gonna prepare us for whatever else we gotta face for the last couple legs of this tournament. And then give me PSG. I'm going with Mbappe all day, man. I'm riding the wave. I just can't take him after MJ took him. You know what I'm saying? I can't,
Jerem, I'm gonna tell you like this. That big blonde, that dormant man, dude special, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude special. I seen this shit.
He's
Dude
about-
is-
You'll be
Dude.
about 200 M's special here in a little bit.
he
Yeah.
about what? 6? Man,
He's
I thought he was
6'4".
he was
6'4".
rushing. I thought he
He's
was rushing
6'4".
at first. I thought he was somebody off Beverly Hill Cop 2 or something like that.
Yeah, dude's like 6'4", 230 running out there.
Mhm.
Dude,
Ridiculous.
I wasn't
Fast as
expecting
hell.
that. I wasn't expecting that.
dude looked like he played on the alphabet crimes, man.
Upside
you
down
want-
bicycle kicks and
Yeah, I'm
everything,
talking
dude.
about dude special, man. Dude is special. So
I want to
it's
see some
gonna be
good
interesting.
matches. That's all I
Yeah.
care about. Look, have fun and enjoy the matchups, man. Because
Exactly.
we should have some great. It shouldn't be no blowouts.
This is a great time for y'all to get involved in. Like if you I know when I first started watching the sport, the Champions League is what got me into it. And then you just kind of explore and find your way there. So this is a perfect time for y'all to get involved in it. So I'm just excited for y'all. This is gonna be next week and the week after will be a lot of fun. Just seeing how you all digest this and all that. And we'll certainly be back to review week 1. Leg 1 will be back here next Tuesday next Tuesday will be the first day of leg one. So we should have the results from leg one from the Tuesday matches. We'll do a preview of Wednesday and go forward from there, man. So remember, Stoppage Time FC is the Facebook group. Stoppage Time FC is the Twitter. Scene, Facebook fan page, capital SCEN. Zach, Joe.
Hold on.
There's more.
I mean, you really want me to make you all pick and then not me pick?
You gonna
Oh,
always
yeah. I thought he started it, but he never picked. You're right.
You know what? I am
You're
sorry.
right.
I was gonna let it
make your-
ride. I was
Zach,
gonna
make your
segue
pick.
right out and just
Zach,
see
make
myself
your
out.
picks. Make your picks and close us out. My fault.
So obviously I'm gonna take Chelsea. And I'm gonna be a little bit arrogant here. I think we get 2 clean sheets. And I think Eduardo Mendy seals up the Golden Gloves for the tournament. Give me City. I do think it's going to be a close one. I really do. As much shit as I like giving Joe, I think it's going to be close. just shut up. Truthfully, I had PSG up until this show, and now all y'all are picking PSG. So give me Bayern. Give me Serge Gnabry in a shocker. Just for shits and giggles. And then as much as it pains me to support any team that has Thibaut Courtois on it, give me Real Madrid over Liverpool.
And there you have it, folks. You have it. Stoppage Time FC. We'll see you next Tuesday. Zach, Joe, Jamaldo, man, special guest.
Hold up. Let me get in on these predictions.
Like Sting, like NWO Sting, from the rafters. It's our main man.
He needed that Stone Cold glass.
So, all right, I'm gonna start off with give me Dortmund just because it's my only chance to say on air that Manchester is currently red, even though I'm wearing the Greenkeeper kit. No, actually, real talk. Give me City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and PSG because without Lewandowski, I just don't see it.
This man wants an all English final.
I don't know that I want it. I mean, we're not there, but
we all know you weren't going to be there. But that's you just go back to the NIT.
Oh wow!
I can't even say nothing. We're on the junior circuit.
Hey man, don't disrespect Europa League, man. For real, man. Don't disrespect the NIT Europe.
And JV squad.
We need it.
Yeah. Hey, real talk though. Thanks everyone for coming out tonight. I really always enjoy having guests on. Because as much as I'm sure people love hearing me and Joe and Big Shot run our mouths week in and week out, it's nice to see some fresh faces and see people who are growing and enjoying the game that we have loved for a long time. So thanks everyone.
So Stoppage Time FC signing out. We'll see y'all next week.